just got out of bed. Pretty hair. October garden tour. There's the okra, like way up there. Red okra. Probably not gonna plant that again. But here we go. October garden tour. Got some help out here. Good morning, girls. Good morning, Brahma. Hey, Flo. There's a couple of the babies. Okra is still very prolific, and I love that. It will go till frost. It is beautiful, beautiful blooms. Still have bees buzzing. That red okra, 10 foot tall. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that again. I like things to be very accessible for me. So these 3 little rows of okra have blessed us mightily, and they're still blessing us. And I love freezing it. We have it all winter long. The tomatoes, they're still going strong. I don't have that many red ones coming on, but I still have lots of blooms. I finally quit pruning it when they got this tall. But I have lots of green ones that we can still use to fry, which we actually love the green tomatoes better than the red. We'll eat red like with breakfast or something, or on a sandwich, but mostly we love the fried green tomatoes. And they're prolific as well, still blooming. But it's not gonna get warm enough here in Western Kentucky for them to ripen. So we're just gonna keep eating them till the frost gets them too. All the potatoes have been dug out of the straw. All the sweet potatoes have been dug out of the straw. Into the fenced-in garden, which is a mess. I've been cleaning in here. Got some lettuce coming up here. I'll cover that with the frost blanket for winter, and we'll eat that all winter long. I've done that for the past 2 years, so I know it works. And the peppers. Jalapeno peppers, still going strong. That tomato plant looks horrible, but it has a tomato on it. Herbs, I need to process some of those and either get them drying or in oil. Nothing here yet. I'll be planting something. This zinnia, y'all. This zinnia is crazy. Like, it's as tall as I am. Crazy. I blame crazy zinnias on Zachary Stivers. Still have some experimental watermelons growing and some experimental cantaloupes growing. And then we have some surprises. God's growing me some more potatoes. I guess I left a couple in there. And he's also growing me some okra. I planted some okra in here as an experiment several months ago, and none of it came up. So this is a great surprise from God, showing me that yes, next year I can grow okra with these potatoes were. So that's exciting. Came out yesterday and put the hula hoops down and the netting down. That is tulle back there. This is actual garden netting up here, so that when all these leaves fall, they will not just cover our turnip greens where we won't be able to get to them. If leaves cover them, they'll turn yellow and they won't be any good. So got the turnip green beds going. Now when it turns cold, I will put frost blanket over these. I have frost blankets down there and more tulle also. So we'll have greens all winter long. I have successfully grown food in this garden year round for 2 years. We've eaten out of it for ever how many months that is. And nasturtiums, they did not do anything this summer. but once the weather got cool, they are popping. They're beautiful and delicious. I'm very happy. This is my first year asparagus bed. It's the Martha Washington, and I think when you plant the roots or whatever it's called, crowns, I think they are a year old. So I'm assuming next year will be the second year. I don't know. Somebody tell me about asparagus. I was told not to cut this stuff off while it's green, just let it go. But I'm assuming at some point in the fall, I would cut it back. Somebody tell me, because I don't know anything about asparagus, but I'm excited to have it growing in my asparagus bed. Strawberries, beautiful, still going strong. When I was feeling bad this summer, I didn't get to pick them all like I had wanted to, but they're still going strong, still blooming. I'll cover these with netting as well, and just I'll let the leaves just fall on the netting that we're going to cover these with for winter, and that will winterize them, and I won't have to do anything. And this is a little flower that I got at Lowe's on sale. It was dying. I got a few of them, and they came back to life, but I have no idea what they are. So somebody tell me what these are. But they're very pretty. The beans, gone. I need to pull all that down. These tomato plants are blooming again. They won't ripen, but they do have green tomatoes that we will eat. And also, looky there, I see a dead tobacco worm on that. But I also see the eggs of a predatory wasp. So that is amazing. Still have cherry tomatoes coming on. Lots and lots of them. I love coming out here and eating breakfast in the garden, especially this time of year because they're already cold. This is stevia. I did harvest a bunch and have a bunch drying. So it's going to flower now. That'll be pretty. There's a little bee. The bees are getting slower these days. But I read that stevia leaves can affect your kidneys. So I have to do more research on that because I do have kidney disease and I don't want to do anything that's going to make me worse. Lemon thyme is looking rough, but I do have a lot of that dried for teas. Comfrey, I have a lot of this dried. I cut it back and it's coming full steam ahead. So I'll be cutting that again also and drying it. This is marshmallow. This will be its second year. So I think I can harvest the root on that, but I'm not sure. Somebody tell me about that. And what is that? That looks like purslane. It's kind of rubbery. Somebody tell me. It's volunteer if it is. Cool. And then this is the, well, this was calendula down here, but it's spent. And this right here is the lemon balm. I've harvested a bunch of it. It's kind of going to pot right now, but I'll be cutting it back. English thyme wore out. Bee balm, it's not looking so great. It's got some kind of fungus among us, but I do have that harvested from previous. It is drying. The echinacea, I have a ton of that that's dried. Looks like it's coming back great. And then the rosemary is looking good. Oregano, lavender, peppermint, chocolate mint, old farm boots that I have retired. Justin boots are great, but they only last me a year. Rain barrel, it's going down. I won't need it filled for winter, so I will drain it and turn it upside down so that spout doesn't freeze. Back to the tomatoes and peppers. In this bed, I have a bunch of lettuce planted, And over here I have some kale planted. And I see it's coming up great. The colors in there is from Nutmeg's litter box. The last litter that I had was paper and it was colored, and I hated that stuff. But it does break down in the garden bed, so it's fine. Now I use the horse stall pellets, and I really like them because they're immediately broken down as soon as they get wet. So everywhere I have put her litter, things have shot up within 3 or 4 days. So that's amazing. These turnip greens, they've only been in the ground like maybe 2 weeks, and they're huge. And then there's the greenhouse that I got from Rural King, paid $90 for 2 years ago. The first cover that was on it lasted 1 day. It was no count at all. The tubing has since broken because we have horrible winds here. We're not in Wyoming, we're in Western Kentucky. But we're in a breezeway, evidently. And the winds just took it down. Duct taped it and everything, but it's shot. So I had ordered a different cover on Amazon, which is this one right here. And I took it off of there and put it over one of my cattle panels. And it's like a sauna in there. I just get in there and sweat. Not really. Yeah, I do. When I was putting that up, I thought I was going to cook myself alive because it's hot in there. But it'll be perfect to start some winter sowing jugs in there. Be cool. And then there's all the stuff that came out of the greenhouse, mostly came out of it. And then the plastic, if I ever need to put plastic over the beds, I have done that before. Potting table I built myself. I was very proud of myself. That come from our old decking. That's the nesting box that came out of the chicken coop. Big brooder boxes, and I put them in here, and I grew onions and carrots. And now I have some voluntary tomatoes coming up in there. So that's pretty cool. All that's garbage. Those tubs lasted 2 years. So I'm thankful for that. Those were potato tubs. And then these tubs are still doing good. Laundry basket where I planted potatoes. My cast iron sink that I got from the thrift store for 25 bucks. I love that sink. It is awesome. And I love all the free pallets. So that's pretty much an overview of Faith Haven Garden fall of 2021. Just for my records. And it's beautiful out here. And I've said before, this is my prayer closet. And God blesses it mightily. Yes, I have bad things happen out here. Sad things that don't go like I think they should. But God always knows what He is doing. And He knows what I am capable of. I try not to let my diseases and disabilities define me. And I overdo it out here some days. But I always find peace. And that's a blessing. Thank you, Lord.